Broken Daily.
It's honestly really cool. I like it. It's subtle. The Frankenstein Miata, Frankata. Hopefully not screw up anything with the timing. Probably will. Yeah, it's frickin', dude. Look at that. It's all frickin', man. I just learned this 5 minutes ago on YouTube, so I'm sure this is the right way to do things. A few things. I broke some stuff. Oh, AirPods. Oh, no. Oh. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of your favorite YouTube channel, Broken Daily. It's no one's favorite YouTube channel, maybe one day. Alright, so it's a new week. I had to go back and forth like 6 times to O'Reilly's because they kept giving me the wrong part, and then parts were on order, and then had to drive, and then had to go back, and then I also need propane for the heater for the garage because it's really cold in here, but now it's warm. And we still need to do a lot more stuff to this engine and get it shoved into that car right there. So, with that being said, this is going to be a hodgepodge video. I don't know what the plan is at all. So we're just going to kind of throw stuff together and see where we get. That'd be cool. Alright guys, so just a quick recap. If you haven't watched the last video or any of my videos and have no idea what's going on, a lot of people don't. I don't even know what's going on. But this video here is us rebuilding this engine-ish. It was a horrible time. So yeah, quick recap there. This is my 1997 Miata. It has no original parts. I'm naming it Frank the Frankenstein Miata, Frankata. Frank the Frankata. This is what that is, because there's like the trunklet is the only original part left on this car. But anyways, so we're rebuilding everything. We have this motor almost ready to put back in the car. We just have a few more gaskets, timing belt, and whatnot to do. So I think we will start with replacing the gasket on the cast. Crank angle sensor. I have no idea how to time these with this little thingy here, and you line it and whatnot. We'll have to figure that out. But apparently there's an O-ring in here that leaks pretty bad. So I'm going to take it off. I got a new O-ring, and we're going to hope it's the right one and that it fits. So let's unbolt stuff. Yeah. No. Okay, so there we go. Apparently this O-ring right here, which feels completely flat, is the one that likes to leak and should be replaced. And judging by the head, there's a lot of oil all over the place, so I'm sure this has been leaking for a fat minute. So good thing we're doing it now. I'm going to try to clean this part up and then get the new O-ring on, and we'll slam it back in there. Cleaned up the cast as good as I can. Looks pretty alright. Got that O-ring off. I actually had to cut it with a razor blade. Remember, this is a rubber O-ring. I don't know if you guys can see it all well. I had to cut it. Listen to this. That is a rubber O-ring. No wonder why it leaked. I bet I can just... You can hear it crackle. Here, some ASMR. Oh, just kidding, no ASMR. But it literally just crumbled. So, keep that in mind, guys. If your Miata is leaking oil, this is a really prone spot for it to leak. Now, there is some tricky stuff with the angle and everything. You need to put it back in, timing and whatnot. We'll get into that. But yeah, this is that O-ring. So I got a new O-ring. Hopefully it fits. I'll show you the part number and what it is. See if it works out for us. And this is the one I got. That's what the parts store said would fit. If you need the part number, it's a Felpro. It's for a GM water outlet, but it's just based off the diameter. So we'll try it. If it fits, great. That's the part number you need if you want to replace yours. Be crazy to not do this for $2 if your engine's leaking profusely like mine was. Yep. Just like that. Fit right on. There's already some oil on here, so just kind of left it. Yeah, that's how you do the O-ring on your cast. Like you see, mine just crumbled into pieces. It was rock hard. Obviously, that's going to leak oil. These rubber O-rings are rubber, just swell up and whatnot to keep the oil inside the block. So, do that. Alright, I know it's hard to tell, but the back of the block has been cleaned up. I just have the best lighting in the world in here right now. So, it's good enough to put this cast back in. So, this guy needs to meet up with the cam inside there. There's a notch, and you're supposed to mark it and whatnot so you know you didn't screw anything up. I didn't do that, so I'll fight that when I get to that, but just make sure it lines up. It should just go right back into its home. Like that. Okay, so next, I don't know. Let's do something on the front of. Shiloh's distracting me. Something on the front of the engine. So the back, I have the rear main seal, and I want to do the rear main, but it's on the engine stand. Can't really do that right now. Once we get the clutch and everything ready, we'll do the rear main. Shiloh. Yeah. All right. We have a timing belt. We have a front main seal. We have a whole bunch of stuff. So I think we'll do the front stuff first. We need to get this guy out, this gear, all that jazz. Hopefully not screw up anything with the timing. Probably will. But we'll figure that out. So let's get all this off and take a look at that front main, because I'm sure it's crap. Oh my God. If your Miata is leaking oil, this is probably why. Look at that. Like, that is just... like, there's a piece of gasket just chilling down there. Like, come on. So, yeah, front main seal. Just another one to be marking off and getting fixed. Okay, so, as you guys can tell, look at this thing, man. It's freaking... It's freaking...
It's freaking alright.
Yeah, it's freaking, dude. Look at that. It's all freaking, man.
It's freaking looking.
It's, yeah, that's fricked up, dude. Yeah, so remember, guys, if you get a used engine, I don't know why I'm acting like I can even give you any sort of advice. When you buy a used engine, don't just slam it in your car. Take it all apart. Whatever you do, like you're gonna spend more money, right? Am I going somewhere with this?
By the looks of it, no, you're not going anywhere.
Shut up. Okay. You get a used engine. Moral of the story. Replace everything. Don't put it in your car. It's just going to be a headache later on. Just fix it. When you go to pull your gasket out, front, rear, what have you, use a pick and be as careful as you possibly can to not mar the surface. When you dig it in to pull it out, just get in there as careful as you can. If you mark the surface inside at all, it's possible it can cause a leak. So just be as careful as you can not to scratch anything, but just pull the gasket out.
Alright, so just scratch everything up and put holes in things?
Yes. Here is a prime reason why, with what I was saying, if you get a used engine, just replace everything, save the time and money and energy. You listen, this is the front main. It's supposed to be rubber, right? That's rubber, dude. It's not supposed to be a rock. Hello? Anybody home? No. Oil is all over the floor. Ran time over. Old gasket, bad. Ooh. New gasket, good. Yay! Brand new front main gasket goes in that hole. So if I have a socket big enough, like the same diameter, I'm going to use that to knock it in. So I'm going to see if I have one that big. I highly doubt I do. That's pretty big. Which I just so happened to literally have the right size. So now that we got that in, you'll take your hammer here and just kind of tap it in. So it's a bad hammer.
Would you like an actual hammer?
Yeah, I can have a hammer. And if you're wondering what the size of this socket is here, you have a 1/2 inch. I don't know what this half number is. I've never, all I know is like 1, 2, 3, 10, 12, you know. Sean, what's that mean?
You need a hammer, right? You mean 1.5?
Yeah, I don't know what the fractions are, man.
That's a half.
I don't get it.
It's 1.5 inches.
Yeah, I don't.
Inch and a half.
1.5.
What does that mean?
That means that is 1.5 inches.
I don't.
An inch plus 1/2 inch.
Is that like a 32?
1.5?
I don't know, man.
It's a 38.
A 38, folks. Wait, I think the board is actually hitting the crank. You need a long 38 socket fit on that. All right, folks. Well, if you can't find anything that fits over there to make sure it's hugged down and nice and snug, you take your nice, expensive, rechargeable Harbor Freight Ken light that you really like, and you use that. That way you don't mar up the surface, and just use that to kind of get it the rest of the way in there. All the way around, nice and flush. Make sure it's got a good seal all the way around. So around a couple times here. Yep. Yep, that's looking good. Alright. And I think we got it pretty flush. It's not sticking out at all. It's deep in there, filling around the edge. And then your favorite pen light should still work. Shit! Okay, so it's been a few days. Had to get a few more parts, get everything put back together. We're about to do the timing. I'm gonna show you guys what I learned and the best way to time this thing. I've never done this before, so it's me kind of learning experience for the both of us here. A few things, I broke some stuff. Shiloh, where's my trophy? So the water neck, if you notice, it's broken. I really want to get this whole engine put together tonight, so when we were putting everything together, I went to go replace the O-ring here, and I tightened it too much, and it did that. Luckily we have two engines, so I was able to steal the other one, and I did. I do have two different harmonic balancers, and this one is damaged, like real bad. It's missing the rubber and everything. I think this is off my engine, and it is. This one's off the NB motor, has all the rubbers. It's not damaged and chipped, so we're going to use this one. We're going to use the trigger wheel off my NA instead of this NB block, because I'm using all of the NA wiring and computer and sensor, so that way it all makes sense. If you're going to do the swap, like if you do the VVT bottom end with your normal 1.8 head, the teeth, when I lined them up on the trigger wheels, they look to be a tooth off from each other, so I'm sure that's a big issue, I don't know. But that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to use this one, that way it's nice. Moving forward, we got all the plastics cleaned up. Now we're going to throw on the tensioners for the new belt, and then I'll kind of walk you through everything here with the timing. I just learned this 5 minutes ago on YouTube, so I'm sure this is the right way to do things. What I have learned, so I am no professional, this side is your exhaust side, right? Your manifold bolts here, you go zoom and it goes boom, right out over there. So on the cam gear here, there's an E, a Y, a Z, and I. E stands for exhaust. E, exhaust. Apparently, this little pin here, and the E on the exhaust, there's these little indentations here. You're going to put the E lined up on that, because that means that it's the exhaust. Everyone in the class, if they can tell me, what position do we think that we would put the intake side on? Good! On the I for intake.
Class is boring.
So, same thing, we got the pin. There's the I right there. We're going to line the I up on that pin.
Teacher, where do you put the gear?
Where do you put the gear?
Yeah.
Up here. Now, down on this guy here, there's a little indent on the gear here. Then you have this little arrow. Allegedly, when those are both lined up, that is top dead center on piston 1. So, we're going to spin this over, make sure it's lined up. I think I might stick a screwdriver down piston 1 just to make sure that it is truly top dead center and make sure we're on like the compression stroke and not the exhaust stroke. That's just my thought process in it. So we line those up, and then these letters here are going to do something again. So first, I'm going to take the spark plug out of here so we can make sure that this is on top dead center. Got the spark plug out. I have a screwdriver right here sitting down in cylinder 1. Scratch it, scratch. It's right there. Our goal is to spin around, make sure this is lined up. Ideally, I just want to see, just for proof of concept, this screwdriver should come all the way up, be actually top dead center here.
Getting close.
As you guys saw, the screwdriver came up. That's on cylinder 1. So those, you can see, marking here, top dead center. Got everything on. One thing, keep in mind, so the tensioner pulley here, there is a little like dowel pin that the whole bracket will sit into for you. Makes it real easy. If you notice, what we did after I got the spring on, loosen this, pulled the tensioner out as far as we can, locked it back down. That way the belt is nice and loose as we're trying to adjust this. So, moving forward, the belt's on, right? But these need to be set still. correctly. So what do we gotta do? On this plate, it's hard to see, but there's a I on this side and an E on this side. Now remember when we were talking about these letters on here, so the I, the E, this is the exhaust side. But what about this I? What do we do with this I? So there's a reason why this is here still. So the I on here needs to match up with the I on here. And this little line here, and there's a little line here. You match those up, and then same thing on the intake side, there's an E with a little groove right here. You match those up with the E and the little groove. So we're gonna hit this one here. So we'll pull the belt off. We're gonna line up the I with the I on here. So that looks pretty spot on to me. Now we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Hold this one and spin that one to where the E matches up with the E. So I'm gonna trade sides with Shiloh. Okay, that should be good. This should start the car. And if it doesn't, like if the 5-minute video that I watched, when you run it, if it's like sluggish or anything like that, it might be like a tooth off. So we'll find out once we get the engine in the car and everything. We can go in there and fix it if we need to. But this should be correct. I'm going to loosen this guy, and it should tighten everything up for us here. I don't want it loose either. Gonna get the rest of the covers and everything, and the spinny pulley harmonic balancer thing. Yeah, all that put back on. And then we'll go from there. Quick segue to today's video, guys. Shiloh and I went to the junkyard earlier, and I have been wanting to get like a spoiler or a wing for the Miata, but I don't want to do anything I've been seeing. Like the duck bills are cool. I have a KBD kit. I don't want the Miata to look like every single other Miata, but I thought it'd be cool to just find like a stock wing off of a car and make it work. So went to the junkyard, and Shiloh found this, and it's actually really cool. And I want you guys to guess and put in the comments what car, this is a stock spoiler wing thing, what car did this come off of? Very good, Shiloh. What car did this come off of? Who knows? Put in the comments if you know what kind of car this is from. But so far everything lines up. So we're gonna throw this on the car. We've already made some tape marks here and some measurements and whatnot. I've got the, I don't know what these are, like hard top spoiler wing thing. Yeah, that is kind of taped on there. I picked that up a while ago. And then we're gonna put this wing on. So I'll show you guys what it looks like once it's on the car. All right, y'all, check it out. I know the garage is an absolute mess right now. As you've seen, we've been building the engine, so that's all being done. But yeah, dude, this is like, it's honestly really cool. I like it because it's subtle. It's aggressive enough, but not too ricey, and it's not too Amazon-y either, where it's like a super small wing or way too big. Like, once the car's out of the garage and whatnot and rolling, you'll get a better idea and paint on the car and all that, but I think it came out great. And again, if you guys can, guess what the wing, the car that this wing came off of. This is just a stock wing off of a pretty common car that I pulled off of at the junkyard, and it lines up perfectly. Like the way the wing rounds over too with like the actual body lines with the Miata is like perfect. So I don't want to give it away because I'm trying to be, you know, quirky and different and unique. So if someone guesses it, I'll like the comment or something if anyone does guess. But yeah, cool. Very different from the rest of the Miatas. Granted, I have a KBD kit, have a hard top with a stupid spoiler wing thing. It complements it. It looks good. Yeah, okay. Rant over, back to the engine building. We got most of the plastics and everything put back on, pulleys. There's still plenty put on the engine, like the alternator, all that jazz, the rest of the belts, valve cover, gasket, make sure that's all good. You can torque everything down, do a whole once over, make sure it's all good. So, if you guys are liking the content so far, you know, of course, like, subscribe, it helped me a lot. The whole idea behind the channel is literally just to motivate myself to fix my car. I'll put a video up here kind of explaining what happened, but doing the YouTube thing really helps me stay motivated to do this, and I guess in a way you can say keeps me motivated. Thanks, Craig. But yeah, this is where we're at so far. The only thing I am waiting on for this engine still is a clutch. I've got a clutch in mind that I want to get for it, and then maybe some new coolant hoses, and that's it. It can go back in the car and we can fire it up. So while we wait for the clutch, I think we will go ahead and end it here, guys. Just want to say thank you for watching the video, of course. It's been a lot of fun doing this so far, and I'm learning a ton of things. So if you guys like it, if you want to help support me, subscribe, comment, like. The best part of that is free. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for now, guys. Stay motivated. You're gay.